Gauntlet. Let's go.
If you smell what the Gauntlet is cooking.
What's going on, world? What's going on, Sideline Sports family and friends? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Gauntlet. I am your host with the most, coming at you from coast to coast. Even if you're a Croatian, I'm still a sensation. We're going to start the show off. We're going to have Sports Morons of the Week like we do every single week. We got a lot of stuff to talk and rant about. We got to talk about our players of the week, Mr. Dante Hall, Mr. The Human Joystick. Is he one of the best kickoff special teamers of all time? We will be discussing that. We'll also be making MVP predictions. Who's going to be the NFL MVP for this upcoming season? All kinds of stuff to get into. An AFC West preview. This is the Gauntlet, and the AFC West is an absolute gauntlet. It's one of the best divisions of football, so it's very exciting that we're going to have an opportunity to talk about that division and break everything down. With that being said, let's get the crew in the building. We got my main man. We got Jamon Nelson in the building. What's going on, my main man?
That's right. The co-host doing the most. Vote for tacos, ladies and gentlemen. Vote for tacos.
Vote for tacos. I like it. Probably better than Joe Biden. Not to get political, but we got the main man from Motown representing. We got Detroit Dom in his house. What's up, Dom?
We should have done taco shirts. Jay, I almost wore my taco cat spelled backwards as taco cat.
Taco gets my vote for best food, though, so I'm with you guys. You guys have my support in your campaign and all your endeavors. And then we got Mr. Replaced, Mr. JJ is actually back in the house tonight. What's going on, JJ?
Y'all are really extra right now, so I'm just chilling.
You're chilling because you're replaced, like
Y'all
Will said.
Really extra right now, but what's
not
going
extra, bro? And then we got our guest, Will Vogel, joining the stage. What's up, Big Will?
DJ Willie V in the house.
That's right.
DJ Willie V in the house. Yes, sir. The DJ.
Yes, sir.
Medium Willie style.
Frank fun.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So without further ado, you guys know what it is. You guys know it is time for Sports Morons of the Week. DJ Willie V, take us away.
No, play it.
Oh, crap. You're right. Hold on a second. I'm still not used to doing this every single week.
Are you guys kidding me?
DJ Willie V, take us away, please.
Chicago Bears, what are you thinking? You want to put a dome on the Soldier Field, an iconic field. It's dumb because I know there's some stadiums that deserve a dome and stuff, but you play in Chicago. You are called the Windy City. Soldier Field has never had a dome. I think they proposed one a long time ago, 40 plus years ago, 30 plus years ago, and they said no, the city didn't want to pay for it. Cold air football is some of the best football. I live in a city where it's hot when it's football season. I've been to stadiums where it's cold. I've been to Mile High because my grandparents live in Denver, Colorado. That atmosphere when it's cold is so much fun and enjoyable and makes football great. So, Bears, what are you doing? That's my sports moron.
Oh, Washington Wizards. Listen, I get it. Y'all love Bradley Beal. You guys appreciate him. You guys think he's that guy. But no, how many times we go through this, realize that somebody just not it. I mean, at the end of the day, $251, $1 million, like, wow. Like, do you know how many players you could probably get that could probably get production and more? But no, we just continue to do what we always do. So yes, Washington are the sports morons of the week. It makes no sense. You could have got Malcolm Brogdon and a couple other people, but you know, you that enjoys, you know, letting the offense run itself with 4 against 5. It's cool. We're just gonna be back to the bottom. I got the couch ready for who wants to sit next to me when we don't make the playoffs next year. Even though I hope we do.
My sports moron of the week. There's actually 2 morons, plural. One is Blazers GM Joe Cronin. The other is Dame Lillard. Joe Cronin for giving Dame Lillard that money and giving them no cap flexibility whatsoever. And Dame Lillard, who's been known for a couple years now, complaining about having no help, wasting the prime of his career. Apparently, he wanted to pull the Aaron Rodgers and just take the money and run and ride off into the sunset with no rings. I don't get it.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about this.
Yo, did they get that out of a gumball machine?
Probably.
Bang the wall. There you go. Make it dramatic.
If those are real diamonds in that ring,
Bro.
like, bruh.
Man is so freaking extra. He's about to trademark that walk-off.
Okay, I gotta unpack this. First of all, this past NBA season, we saw the NBA first introduce the new Eastern Conference, Western Conference MVP, Finals MVP, or Eastern Finals MVP, Western Finals MVP. This is something that the NBA has done because they want to draw in, more casuals, and when people are talking about sports, they'll say, "Oh, this guy was 2-time Eastern Finals MVP," and the other guy was 0, even though he played before they even started doing it. So what you're basically doing is you're setting up participation trophies. So what we're doing here is the NBA is not only going backwards, we're going backwards as a society. We're basically giving out handouts. We're basically giving out participation trophies for people doing nothing. In 10 years from now, you're going to have first round MVP. You're going to have second round MVP. You're going to have MVP for every single round of the playoffs, which is, to me, is going to take away the meaning of, these awards. These awards are going to be meaningless. And now you have a summer league that you're literally giving out rings to people in a summer league. Summer league is not even on the same level as preseason. This is just a bunch of rookies and, young developmental G League guys, getting together, and it's kind of like an AAU thing. It would be kind of like if you played AAU ball and then, AAU teams win the championship and then you give them a ring. Like, what are we doing here? We're going backwards. We're not going forwards. And it's a disgrace. And it absolutely really disgusts me. So that's all I have to say about that.
Oh, hi. So, Soldier Field, that dome. Don't do it. Will is 100% correct. So,
yeah,
so 1980, what was it? 86. It was 86. I think it was the Fog Bowl. It was only like 15 yards of visibility in front of them. Somehow Cunningham threw for 400 yards. The Bears did win the game, but that was an iconic game. And then you got the many years of the snow and the ice and the wind and everything. You want to know how that was possible? Because there was no dome, you morons. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
I love it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for the for the sports morons of the week.
One question though.
I don't know.
How many games is the summer league even? 10?
I don't even know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
You're
matter.
giving out rings for 8 games?
You're giving out a ring for something stupid. We're going backwards. We're going absolutely backwards.
I don't know if I agree with the summer league aspect of it, because I think the players need something to feel accomplished for it, typically. So I don't necessarily think that's necessarily a bad thing.
That's why you have 82 games to feel accomplished for.
But everybody doesn't make those games. Some of these guys have to be in the G League for a couple years. Jordan Poole was in there for like 2 years. Are we not going to reward them for trying their hardest to make a team?
Yeah, but giving them a ring
rewarding by giving them
I don't necessarily think that
a participation trophy is rewarding. Really?
It's not a participation trophy.
It is a participation trophy.
How is it a participation trophy when some of these guys never played in NBA all their lives? So you have to think about the individual person.
Why does that matter?
Hold on. We're only thinking from as a fan standpoint, but these guys are dedicating their time, hard work to get to the league. And sometimes if they don't make it, don't you think it's okay for them at least to look back on something?
The G League has what they have. They have G League, they have playoffs, they have finals in the G League.
Some washout that you match up against at the YMCA can show off his summer league ring.
It's not the YMCA because some of these
it's a YMCA ring, Joseph.
There's a point. YMCA guys that always make the league, though. And
it's LA Fitness rings. That's what it is.
Hold on. Why you guys are thinking of it as a fan aspect, not thinking of it as a person that's dedicating their lives 80 hours, 100 hours a week to get to the league?
Yeah, I'm sure they think about the summer league, and they don't think about actually playing in the NBA.
Is being on the summer league championship team going to increase their chances of getting a contract?
Actually, if you were in their shoes, you would feel differently, 100%.
No, I wouldn't.
I would pawn the ring immediately.
While we're sitting here,
because I've actually played competitive sports.
While we're sitting there critiquing them, they're working hard to keep a job. Remember, we're not doing this as a job. They're doing it as a job. They're working hard to keep a job. So if you feel accomplished about doing something that's part of your job,
they just got drafted. They're not worried about losing their job. They just got drafted.
If you win a ring and you're the MVP, people come up like that. We just talked about Jordan Poole. So the G League is a development league for a reason. So you reward those guys when they put the hard work and effort to get to what they need to get to possibly get to the league, which is the goal.
Which is why the G League has playoffs, which is why the G League has finals.
And a full season.
You're giving people – this is like giving people a ring for preseason. Should the NFL hand out preseason MVP, Joseph? Is that what you think?
Yes, Detroit Lions, 2008 preseason champs. Where's my ring?
I don't agree with this at all because some of these guys want to get to the league.
All right, Joseph, we got to go. We don't have time to be arguing about this stuff for the whole show. We got player of the week. We got punt returner, kick returner, Dante Hall. He was nicknamed as the human joystick. He had 11,000 kickoff return yards. He set an NFL record in 2003 where he returned a touchdown for 4 straight games. I don't think any player has matched that since then. He also had 242 return yards against the Chargers in 2004, including a 96-yard return, which I think at the time was the most yards ever recorded from a special teamers. In my opinion, very good player, very good electrifying returner. I do not think he's as good as Deion Sanders as a returner. I do not think he's as good as someone like Devin Hester as a returner, but still very exciting player to watch, very fun player to watch, and yeah, big time player.
Yeah, made first team All Pro. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Will.
No, you were talking first. You go.
I thought we were going like clockwise. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jay, you go, and then we'll go to Dom, Will, and JJ can wrap us up.
All right. So, he made first team All Pro in 2003, second team All Pro in 02 and 03. 2-time Pro Bowl 0203. 0203 was like kind of the magic years for him, really, even though I felt he was electrifying the entire decade, which led to him being voted first team NFL 2000s All-Decade team as a punt returner and second team NFL All-Decades as a kick returner. And so in the, when you talk about the great returners in history, Deion, Eric Metcalf, Vice Sakahema, Tamarick Vanover, Azahir Hakeem. Azahir Hakeem, I felt, was probably outside of Devin Hester, rivaled him in the 2000s. But you talk about a dude who got the name the human joystick for a reason. The Kansas City Chiefs in their history, they, along with Tamarick Vanover, who was Florida State, Nate Anderson's going to appreciate that. They kind of been looked out with some pretty good returners. And now they kind of looked out with a pretty good quarterback. But Dante Hall, I'll just wrap this up. I'll keep it short. Dante Hall, awesome. He was my pick. and everything. I kind of felt like if we could shed some light on some returners, it'd be great. In this era of popularizing the quarterback and the running back and the receiver, why not a returner, a guy in which wide receiver was his second position? Go ahead, Dom.
A few things about Dante Hall. First, generally, as a Lions fan, haven't got to experience a whole lot of great things, but I have seen some great kick returners over the year. Mel Gray, Fast Eddie Drummond, Jamal Agnew just a couple years ago. I was a little surprised. So in 2003, which was his banner year, he averaged 16.3 yards per punt return, which is like 7th best all time. But for his career, he's only like 45th best, which I thought was kind of odd. But the thing I do not understand, and it's funny and good that you brought up Oz Hakeem. Why is it that most of these kick returners, as electric as they are with the ball in their hands, it never translates to success at wide receiver? Oz Hakeem might be, and I mean it's a short list, but he might be the most accomplished as an actual receiver. All the rest of these guys, like you're telling me you couldn't get Dante Hall the ball in space? We're starting to see it now in Atlanta with Cordarrelle Patterson, but I don't know what it is about these guys. Like they just can't run routes. I mean, Oz Hakeem couldn't catch.
That's probably before you continue. That probably was the issue was, and I mean, not sitting here saying that Hall wasn't a good route runner because I've seen him play receiver and he was decent. Even Hester was, decent to somebody decent. They just excelled at returning the ball, and not only that, but getting. And I know it's all in open space, but it's different running when you got a defense in front of you and when you got a special teams, kicking team coming at you. It's a bit of a different story. As a matter of fact, I would give the degree of difficulty as punt returning.
Made the Pro Bowl as receiver and punt returner as a rookie. Just saying.
He might. Deshaun Jackson might actually be the best ever combination receiver and returner.
Yeah.
Anyway,
JJ.
Will, what you saying, big bro?
Love Dante Hall. He's 4th in all-time kick return touchdowns in NFL history, and he's definitely on my Mount Rushmore when I think of kick returners. On my Mount Rushmore, for example, are Dante Hall, no order, Dante Hall, Primetime, Devin Hester, and Philly Jim's boy, Deshaun Jackson.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good Mount Rushmore.
So yeah,
Brian Mitchell.
He was electrifying. But
yeah, good one, Mitchell also.
JJ.
I thought James was going, and I was.
All right, I went first.
James led off. That's on you, man.
You gotta pay attention, big bro.
Keep up. This is why you got replaced.
Nobody gets replaced. Thank you very much. It was that being said.
According to Will, you did.
Dante's entire kick return against, I think, the Broncos is what we used to do in Madden. You run up and down, juke around, do anything. So he brought Madden to life. And to answer Dom's question, those type of receivers were going, if you were to play wide receiver in a defense, linebackers are 260 pounds, 260-something pounds with Ray Lewis and people like that to get up. So these dudes are like 195, 200. So it's
barely
difficult to get hit consistently by guys that are almost like 20, 30 pounds more. If they were in this league now, the Dante Hall, the Eric has, Devin Hester, all of those guys would be used differently because this league has linebackers that are smaller and it's less contact on the body. Like you look at Randall L., who is the same size as Dante, he can't even walk up 2 stairs without putting 1 foot first, sit for 5 minutes, and put on the other because he was going against people like Zach Thomas, LeVon Kirkland, those guys. So in the hit of Dante Hall, what he did in his time was especially exceptional because he was a little guy. And he was a little guy guys that were always big to him. And he just was just a fast sport on the field, and he had agility. He had quickness about him. I think the guy was great. There are so many great returners out here that he's with Josh Cribbs for me.
I was going to say,
another one.
Pretty interesting.
To me, the small kick returners are less impressive than like the Josh Cribbs. Like Josh Cribbs is a big dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel you guys on that. So we're going to take our first commercial break of the night, guys. When we get back, we're going to be discussing some current NFL news this week. We saw Baker Mayfield getting traded from the Browns to the Carolina Panthers. So when we get back, we will discuss that.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Make sure you guys check out the links down in the description below for all the latest fan gear and stuff of that nature.
Will, was that a serious or a sarcastic?
I need somebody to turn off their echo. Whether you guys are watching the show on your phone or computer or whatever, I'm hearing stuff in the background. Okay? But we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. So next up, we got Baker Mayfield getting traded to the Panthers, actually, from the Browns. So, Will, you're a Panthers fan. What was your reaction when you saw this trade go down?
I was actually really happy because getting Baker Mayfield for a 5th-round pick in my eyes is a steal, and also oh, sorry, I thought I heard an echo. So, is a steal, and also that the Browns are paying half his contract. And honestly, the rumor has it that going into camp, it's going to be a battle between Darnold and Baker. And I'd give the advantage to Baker because if you look at statistically at their numbers throughout their careers, Baker is a lot better than Sam Darnold. So I thought we got him for a steal, like I said. And, yeah, I think he could be a good quarterback for this offense.
Fair enough. JJ?
I agree with Will. I like the move. I'm not as hard on Baker as I actually respect the guy. I think the dude isn't afraid to take whatever's coming his way. Like, he makes the decisions and he lives with it. I think a big deal for him, he had a run game with Carolina. And I think in a division that really only has one true threat, that it's going to cost him. And Baker, for all as much as you want to get on him and stuff like that, the dude has talent. He has had instances where he looked really good. Is he the best? No. Is he like top 10? No. But if you're a team that's at least trying to see some type of accomplishment in terms of like your percentages and like trending upward, I don't think outside of all the quarterbacks that were available, Baker is a bad option. I think Baker is a good option for that team because when they went last year and went 11-5, not last year, the year before, 11-5, they had a really good run game and a really good defense. Carolina's brightest spot last year was their defense. The issue was Sam Darnold and his turnover. And if you look at Baker Mayfield, his turnovers were a little lower than it was.
That's not true. The last few years, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield have the most interceptions in the league. So, don't know where you got that information from.
I stand corrected. Oh, you're spicy. I love it. Anyway, but I think it's a good move for Carolina to at least, try to get something out there to win.
All right, Dom, what's up?
My feelings about Baker Mayfield are not only A, well documented, but B, accurate. I don't think it's a good move. I don't think it's a steal. Like, all we had to give up was a 5th-round pick. No, that's all he was worth. And now you have a quarterback controversy on a
really?
He couldn't get it done with a much better team. What's he going to do in Carolina? Try to play more hero ball? Like, Carolina is no team is a Baker Mayfield away from contending. We know what he is. We know what he isn't. Now you have the number 1 and number 3 picks from the same draft, and you still don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, but
I
how
can't
is that
wait.
a quarterback controversy? Sam Darnold stinks. It's not a controversy. Not
He
saying
does, but
Baker's
they just
great,
hate
but
him, and
controversy?
he was the presumed starter. They're both, I don't know why, but they're both considered.
He also got benched because he stinks.
But they're both still technically considered
He's out here
starting
seeing
caliber
ghosts, Dom.
talent.
It's not a controversy. As you would say, Dom, Baker is less terrible than Sam. So
Yeah,
no controversy.
I don't know. They could have went and got any number of other people. I don't know what the asking price was
Like who?
for Jimmy G, or literally anyone.
It's an interesting situation with Jimmy because I don't think the 49ers want to let go of him. Because
Baker couldn't get it done with a better offense, a better run game, and a better defense.
Too raw, so they're not willing to just let go of him right away. But Jay,
what's Baker's ceiling on a team like Carolina? That's all.
Jay, what are your thoughts?
As far as the 5th round point that Dom made, in my humble opinion, I don't think it was so much as that was he was worth. I think it was more the fact that he wanted out of Cleveland. Okay, anything to get you out of here. You know, do I think it's an improvement for the Panthers? Yes, I do. By how much? I don't know. The only drawback that I really see to him going to Carolina is Baker Mayfield's going to be put in a position to where he's going to have to step it up. He's going to have to find a way to do it because he just went from having Hunt and Nick Chubb in his backfield to Christian McCaffrey, who plays 5 games a year.
Until he gets hurt.
Yep, and I agree as a Panther.
And then here comes the Baker hero ball with a not as good O-line.
Yep, and he's got Robbie Anderson, and man, that was funny the exchange this week. But yeah, I mean, do I think it's an improvement for them? Yes, I think he is better than Darnold. Do I still have the Panthers exactly running the division? Hell no.
Hell no.
No, and I don't even no. We're at least 2 more wins, 3 more wins better with Baker, in my opinion.
Please
probably.
Stop.
I mean, I know. What was it? I think it was 2 weeks ago. We did the NFC South predictions.
Yep.
And I said I had Atlanta finishing over Carolina. Now I might have Carolina finishing above Atlanta.
6 wins and 5 wins instead of 5 and 4. I can't believe you said that, Will.
I mean, they'll probably win.
I'm just being
5 to 7 games, probably.
Look who's talking.
I'm just
you can
being
be
hopeful.
optimistic, but please remain realistic. He didn't push Cleveland to 2 or 3 more wins with a much better roster. I pity you and your team, Will.
Are they going to have more wins than the Lions?
Carolina?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No.
Yes. I'm willing to
I think the Lions are actually slept on a little bit.
What are we betting, Will?
I'm not gonna go super into it, but I don't think the Lions are as trash as they've been.
Baker Mayfield.
But I'm just gonna leave it there. My thoughts and opinions on this trade. Obviously, I do, as Dom would say, I feel that Baker is a less terrible quarterback than what Sam Darnold is. So, did they upgrade? Yes. Did they upgrade by a lot? No, they did not. Is this going to be a major difference for the Panthers? No, it is not. Are the Panthers going to be a playoff team? No, they are not. So, I think that when you look at this, you have to put something on to the Panthers and just, question this organization, what they're trying to do. Like, what is the identity of this team? What direction are you trying to go into when last season you traded for Sam Darnold? You traded a second-round pick to get Sam Darnold, and he got benched in the middle of the season because he was terrible. And not only that, you have him under contract for $18 million. Luckily, the Cleveland Browns are paying the majority of Baker's salary, so the Panthers are only having to pay $4 million to have Baker on the team. So if Baker's going to be the starting quarterback of this team, you're going to have Sam Darnold basically standing around on the bench doing nothing, and you're paying him almost $20 million for this.
Yep.
So not only give him a second-round pick, which is relatively high in terms of draft compensation, you're also paying the guy $19 million as a cap hit for this season. So
I'll tell you what Baker Mayfield.
Kind of question like what kind of organization the Panthers are, and they're showing that they're not a very well-run organization. They don't really know what they're doing. You drafted Matt Corral in the 3rd round, so Matt Corral most likely gonna just be redshirting this season, and then maybe he gets an opportunity next year, unless the Panthers are bad enough that they end up in the top of the draft, so they can draft C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or one of the quarterbacks of the class to come. But as far as the trade, I don't think it moves the needle whatsoever for the Panthers. But I guess I would take Baker over Sam Darnold.
So I'm confused.
I'll tell you what Baker does for the Carolina Panthers fans, and you'll be happy.
What are you confused about, JJ? What are you confused about?
So I'm confused. You're saying that you don't know what they're doing because they just take this 5th pick for Baker Mayfield, and you questioning them as why they did this. But my question to you is, why are they paying
Sam Darnold almost $20 million to do nothing?
If they kept Sam Darnold, who you just admitted was a worse quarterback than Baker Mayfield,
they should get rid of Sam Darnold. He should not be on the roster.
So
he's wasting a roster spot.
Why are you, so just for you saying that they should not be on the roster, why are you mad at them taking a quarterback that actually you feel is better than the person that is starting as the quarterback?
Who said I was mad about it? I said that they're still a bad organization.
Today, you just said
they're making stupid moves.
So you said something very important. You said that they might not end up in the top 10. But if you think that Baker's not that good, don't you think they're going to end up in the top 10? You're admitting that possibly they could be better than being in the top 10, where they could land C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young.
I said if they're bad enough to get a top pick to land one of the quarterbacks, then I think that is the direction that they should go into. Baker only has a year on his contract, so even if anything, I highly doubt that they'll resign him after the year. But
here's what
I'm not going to pat the Panthers on the back and say, "Oh, what a great move by the Panthers by giving up a 5th-round pick for a quarterback that basically nobody wanted." But congratulations, Panthers! You guys are going to still.
Here's what acquiring.
Yeah, we're going to be mediocre.
Here's what acquiring Baker Mayfield does for the Panthers fans that they'll actually be happy about. It accelerates the firing of Matt Rule.
But I don't think you can argue against these trying to salvage the season and make them possibly be a little bit better this year. I don't think you can argue.
They're still not going to make the playoffs. They're still not going to be a good team. So what's the point?
No, we're going to be mediocre.
They'll be interested in trying to be better. That's what I don't get.
Interesting in winning 5 games? What's interesting about that?
But then that goes back to your point where you said there's a chance they could be outside the top 10. If you only win 5 games, you're bound to be top 10. I just don't get it.
I didn't say they were or weren't going to be in the top 10. I said if they are in the top 10, then they're not going to think twice about it. They're going to say C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. It's not even – it's a no-brainer.
But you just said they're going to win with Baker. So that I'm admitting that they're going to be in the top 10. I'm just confused. That's all. I'm confused.
I don't see them winning at most 7 wins. So they'll probably be in the teens. If they lose less than that, they will be in the top 10. Either way.
Well, what happened?
I'm not going to pat them on the back for this, Joseph. No matter what you say, no matter what you try to say about Baker, I'm not going to pat the Panthers on the back for giving them a 5th-round pick for a guy that the Browns are paying most of his salary because nobody wanted it. Nobody was going to trade them anything higher than a 5th.
I don't think you're patting on the back. I just think this is they're not connecting right now.
What's not connecting? What's not connecting?
I just don't see how you can say that they're going to win 5 or no more than 7 games.
Because they're not a good team.
Because they're not good.
But they're not a good team, Joseph.
If they kept Sam Darnold, how many wins are you giving them?
Probably about the same. I don't think Baker moves the needle much further for them.
Okay. You just said that he's slightly better quarterback than Sam Darnold, but yet you think they're going to have the same amount of wins.
Slightly better quarterback, still on a very bad team. Doesn't make any difference.
Acquired Deshaun Watson. Would you feel the same?
That's Deshaun Watson. The Panthers aren't requiring Deshaun Watson, so what are you even saying right now?
That's the point. You're saying if they have Deshaun Watson,
Deshaun Watson is not slightly better than Baker Mayfield. He's way better than Baker Mayfield.
But you see what I'm
Terrible
saying?
comparison.
The players that they have outside of Baker are still the same. So if you're going to say that Deshaun
Watson's way better, though.
Right, but
I don't even know why we're debating this.
Also highlighting that the players on the team are also good too because it can make them better. So like the players, it's how you feel about the.
When Deshaun Watson last played, he was a top 5 quarterback. Forgetting all the massage man stuff, he was top 5 when he last played.
Okay,
Baker, not even close.
Let's move on, shall we?
I don't even know what you're trying to talk about right now, but. Speaking of being on the gauntlet, stepping into the gauntlet, AFC West is going to be a gauntlet division. So let's give our predictions, starting with Will. And what order do you have the teams finishing for this upcoming season?
Yeah, all these teams are going to be really good, and it's going to be a tight race, like you said. It is definitely, quote-unquote, a gauntlet. I got Chiefs, Chargers, and then I'd say Broncos and Raiders are going to end with the same record.
Yeah, but who's going to finish?
I'd say Broncos slightly above the Raiders.
Okay.
So Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
JJ, who you got?
I'll finish. I'll go after y'all. Y'all go ahead.
Well, I'll go. I'll keep it short, man. I am going to go bold. And y'all can hold me to this. AFC West will send 3 teams to the playoffs this year.
I couldn't agree more, actually.
So I'm going to say Chiefs win the division. I'm going to say, here we go. I'm going to say Chiefs win the division. Then the Chargers. Then I got the Broncos. And then the Raiders finishing last.
Yes, sir, my boy.
Go ahead, Dom.
Same. I got KC with 11 wins, San Diego and Denver with 10, Oakland with 9. But I think
San Diego.
Oakland gets a tiebreaker somehow, some way.
Who's this San Diego team?
It's still San Diego. No one in LA cares about the Chargers.
You said Oakland and San Diego.
I sure did.
But never mind.
You know what I meant. I think all 4 teams make the play. I think all 4 teams make the playoffs.
I don't understand. What's the hype? What's the hype for the Denver Broncos? Can someone explain that to me?
Russell Wilson, but the problem is
Russell Wilson.
He's pretty good.
Okay, I'm just gonna give my prediction now. I have the Chiefs winning the division at 13-4. I think that the disrespect to the Chiefs this offseason has been absolutely insane to me.
Their draft was awesome.
They lost. I mean, they did trade Tyreek Hill, and it is what it is. But they still have playmakers. It's not like, Patrick Mahomes is playing with bums. He's playing with guys that are capable. Valdez-Scantling,
draft was really
is he as good as Tyreek Hill? No, but he's still a good deep threat. Ask Aaron Rodgers if he's a good deep threat. He's got speed and vertical ability to get down the field. You draft Sky Moore, who's a good receiver as well, coming into the draft. He is going to be a major contributor for the Chiefs offense. You still have Kelsey there, and you also picked up Juju, who isn't a number 1 receiver, but when he has talent around him like the Chiefs have, then he can be solid. So I'm not worried about their offense whatsoever. Andy Reid and Mahomes are going to take care of business. But where the Chiefs really improved, which is something we're not really used to seeing, is defensively. They had a great defensive draft. They drafted George Karlaftis in the first round. They pair him up with Chris Jones. They have a good pass rush, Frank Clark in the building. So they got a good pass rush, and they also improved on the back end. You drafted the corner from Washington, McDuffie, in the first round as well with the extra first-round pick that you picked up with the Tyreek Hill trade, and you picked up Justin Reed. So you improved the safety position. You improved the pass rush. So the Chiefs filled a lot of holes that they needed to fill. They're going to be definitely a different Chiefs team. They might not be the Chiefs team that's, going to have to score 45, 50 points to win every single week. They're going to be a more balanced team, and I think they're going to be a better team. Then I have the Chargers finishing in second. The moves that the Chargers have made is going to be crazy. You have Khalil Mack being paired up with Joey Bosa. Those guys are going to wreak some serious havoc. And then you have Derwin James on the back end. You signed J.C. Jackson. So I think that the defense of the Chargers is the best in the division, and their offense is very, very good too. Still got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
Herbert's got a rocket arm.
And Herbert's a very good quarterback. So that being said, I got them finishing with 12 or 11 wins. And then this is where it gets like more tricky for me. I have the Raiders winning 10 games. I think
I can see that.
I think Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the NFL. He's going to Derek Carr, who he has the chemistry with that he played with at Fresno State. And Derek Carr is a good quarterback. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks. He has one of the highest completion percentages.
I do like
And
Derek
as long as
Carr.
you take care of the ball, I think he's going to be fine. And don't forget, they got Renfro. Renfro had over 1,000 yards last season. They still got Darren Waller. They got a lot of weapons out there.
Josh
Now,
Jacobs.
The Broncos is what I have a major issue with because I get the Russell Wilson love affair, but Russell Wilson has not done anything in the playoffs since Marshawn Lynch, since Legion of Boom era. What does everyone always say? Oh, Aaron Rodgers is always losing in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers is a choke artist. Russell Wilson is a choke artist. We've seen Russell Wilson come up short several times. Yet nobody says anything. Everyone makes excuses. Oh, he doesn't have O-line. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. So he's coming to a team that was supposedly a quarterback away. I don't see them winning more than 8 games. I think Jerry Jeudy has potential. I think Cortland Sutton has potential. I think Tim Patrick has potential. But potential doesn't get you but so far. Devontae Adams, proven commodity. Darren Waller, proven commodity. Travis Kelce, proven commodity. Keenan Allen, proven commodity. These guys are not proven. They haven't proven anything. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, they're a contender. They're a Super Bowl level team. They're going to be on the same level as the Chiefs. They're going to be able to beat the Chargers. I see the Broncos finishing last 8-9 is the final record I have for them. And I have them finishing last in the division as one of the most disappointing teams in the league.
I got the Broncos finishing second. I think your entire assessment is totally off. I think it's amazing that we're so quick to put Russell down when yet all these years we've been saying Russell is the reason why Seattle was even relevant. So
that right there.
I'll let you speak. Let me got this going on.
No, I agree with you. Go ahead.
I think at the end of the day, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are number one because I think they have the best quarterback in the division. And I think, they have done the best that they could to kind of retool their offense. I don't think it's less of thinking Tyreek Hill is a good player. I just think it's an issue of how the whole dynamic feels in terms of how Tyreek feels he fits in the offense as opposed to how they may see him in the offense. But I'm not ready to call Justin Herbert over Russell Wilson yet. And I think we recognize that Denver has a great team except for one quarterback away. And you just elevated to a guy who, on the same token, we would say Seattle doesn't have anything around them. Their defense is crap. It's all this. Russell Wilson is at least. Russell Wilson gets you 10 games. And if you want to sit there and refute that, I'm really curious to know where you're going to back that up by looking at how they sit there and said the defense is the worst in the league with Jamal Adams being your strong safety.
Russell Wilson has had some abysmal performances in the playoffs that no one speaks about.
And when does Justin Herbert?
So you have more excuses about. I never said Justin Herbert was some great quarterback. I said the team was better.
You the Chargers second. When have they shown anything in the playoffs? That's what I
said. The team was better. They have better players, better roster. That's what I said.
You just said the team is better, but yeah, we just acknowledged that the Broncos are one quarterback away. So you must think the team is good. Right? If you think they're,
I think the Broncos are overrated.
But no, but
they were the most overrated teams in the league.
That's you personally, but you didn't say that in your spill. So if you think
yes, I did.
You didn't say that the team wasn't good. You said they're one quarterback away. You were talking about how you don't.
I said everyone is saying they are a quarterback away. You need to listen to what I say, Joseph, instead of trying to twist my words to fit your narrative, because it doesn't work that way.
No, it's
you guys
not.
are like an old married couple.
It's not putting words in the narrative. I'm listening to what you said.
We will play back the show, and I will show you that I said I think the Broncos will be one of the most disappointing teams in the league. Everyone has been saying they are a Super Bowl team. They are a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl team. I do not think that they are.
Is this my rankings, or is this your chance to come in? Because I thought I was giving my ranking. So,
you're saying a bunch of crap that I said that isn't true, so I'm putting you in your place. But go ahead.
Sir, I'm just saying I think the Broncos are I have them second, And I think Russell Wilson is going to show the people who he really is, because he's on a team that we have said has a great run game, that has a good defense with Justin Simmons, who they just signed and everything. And then they have an offensive line that protect him. We've always knocked Seattle for not giving an offensive line to Russell. So it stands for me to believe, having him in that offense with the offensive line that can protect him, that I think they're going to be successful. In terms of the third place team, I think it's going to be the Chargers, because I do think they have a good team. I just don't think Justin Herbert is ready to take on an elite quarterback who still can do it, like Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson, and overtake them. I don't know if he's ready for that. So I got them finishing third, and I got Las Vegas finishing fourth. But I think every team is going to be over 500.
Okay. Anybody else got anything for the AFC West before we move on?
Nope.
I'm going.
Hey,
I mean,
MVP.
my biggest thing was. Oh, all right.
No, go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, I was just reiterating. I just feel like they are that the AFC West is the best division, and they will send 3 to the postseason. Me personally, I still believe in Russell Wilson. I felt like he's leaving a worse situation and coming to Denver. Did he move into a tougher division? Probably so, but and this is all it remains to be seen. I think he's surrounded by a better team. I still got them finishing better than the Raiders, and that actually is. Because I like the Raiders, I really do. And I agree. I think Derek Carr is one of the better quarterbacks in the league that, like, everyone kind of underrates because he's on the Raiders.
So
Exactly.
so disrespected.
I will
you know
take
what I mean?
Devontae Adams. I will take Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller over Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and Cortland Sutton any day of the week.
And that's fine. And that's cool.
They're
And you
better
know what?
weapons.
At the end of the day, they still got to play the game because we've seen it every single year. A team that's supposed to be winning, and they drop some to some teams that shouldn't. So, I mean,
All right, fair enough.
yeah. But we can go ahead.
So Vegas MVP odds. Josh Allen is the slight favorite over Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, followed by Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson to win the 2022 NFL MVP, guys. So let's just go through this real quick. Who do you guys have winning the league MVP this season?
Real fast, I'm going to go bold and say Justin Herbert. He was one of 2 quarterbacks last season to pass for 5,000 yards, making history by getting on that short list. I think it's going to be hinged upon everyone else, though. If he can find a way to get the Chargers into the postseason, just the postseason, then, yeah, I think he's got a strong shot at winning Most Valuable Player, especially if he repeats throwing 5,000 through the air. Go ahead, Dom.
I got Josh Allen as the front runner, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, and my dark horse is Derek Carr.
Woo! Well, you did say dark horse.
So you're saying you got Josh Allen winning?
Most likely, yes.
Okay. Well,
I got Josh Allen. That defense they have is good, but he has like Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, and I definitely think it's due time that he deserves an MVP one of these years, and I think this is the year that he proves that like that playoff loss was a fluke, and he's going to come back with vengeance and throw for, I'm going to predict, over 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
Joseph?
You go ahead and finish it off.
No, you go ahead, bro. I'm going to go last. I insist.
I know he doesn't care, and maybe a little homerism, but I'm going Lamar Jackson.
God, I knew it.
For his second MVP?
Actually, Dom, it wasn't because of what you may think. It's one of those things just because I've been following my team, of course, because that's my team anyway. But this is the year that he got with a more advanced quarterback coach as opposed to his mentor, Josh Harris, who he's been with for his entire life. So from what I've seen and thinking about looking at the credentials of his quarterback coach, I'm really excited to see how that's going to translate to his game. And I do believe you can argue, and I sit there and look on these sports forums, how they say the Ravens just need to be healthy and they were going to be a legit team. So if you're going to be a legit team, that means they're going to be players that are successful for the team. And I think if you look at Baltimore, everything gets start and ends with him. And I think with having J.K. Dobbins back, which elevates the play action game, Lamar Jackson is going to be one to show people, because the long ball is what they were looking for, is shown last year with Hollywood. And I think that shows confidence in him to feel like he can do it again with people like Bateman, who people have said were better than Hollywood. So I think Lamar Jackson might have a second MVP in this trophy. And I said this, I'm really bold on my team in the sense, more than I've ever been, that I think the Ravens are going to have a top 5 offense in every category. And I think Lamar Jackson is going to be one of the top 5 passers and still probably to be the number 1 rushing quarterback and really show what a dual threat quarterback is. I think the one guy that I will say that will challenge him is Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen, after seeing how he played against Kansas City, knows that he has what it takes.
And he can run. Josh Allen can run a little bit.
Exactly. Like he didn't.
So Josh is the only quarterback that can challenge Lamar for the MVP?
But I think I don't. Of course, you got Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and other guys, but I think Josh Allen is either going to be Josh or Lamar, because I think both of those guys firmly believe in their skill sets and they believe, and they're going to show up and show out. But I give Lamar the slight edge.
Okay.
Good points.
I cannot see Aaron Rodgers three-peating for the MVP. I think that there is going to be a new MVP. I think it is going to be one of the younger guys. Joseph has Lamar winning it. I also have my pick is coming from the AFC North Division, and my pick is Joe Burrow. I think that with the way that the Bengals highly improved their offensive line, you brought in Alex Kappa to fill the guard position. You also brought in Lyle Collins from the Dallas Cowboys to fill that right tackle. Obviously, the Bengals were ever so close to a Super Bowl win. They just could not stop Aaron Donald and a very good pass rush from the Rams at the end of that ball game. But Joe Burrow has the tools to be a successful elite quarterback. And I think that with the weapons around him and coming off of that Super Bowl loss, the way Joe Burrow carries himself, he is going to be hungry. He is going to be coming for revenge, I think. And I think that he's ready to rise up to the challenge. And I think that this season is going to be a big season for Joe Burrow, especially, as I said, improved offensive line. And Joe Burrow just has all the tools and the qualities, I think, to be very successful. I'm going with Joe Burrow for MVP.
I like it.
Not a bad choice.
No bad choice at all. I think the Bengals actually have a strong chance at repeating in the AFC. I might have had 3 teams from the West, but for the Bengals to repeat, but then again, it's a fight for the division because
I can see Bengals
be healthy and so forth.
Sorry,
But it's not. No. It's all good, Willie. I mean, Joe Burrow and what he did in his first full year as a starter.
Get out of here, Joseph. You're finishing third in the division.
You know, and what he did in his first full year as a starter, I just do not see a scenario where they, in theory,
coming off ACL tear.
Yeah, coming off ACL tear, comeback player, and he does it. He has a strong chance of winning a most valuable player. And the fact that
we didn't play Tom Brady for MVP. Nobody's picking Tom.
But with Joe Burrow, shoot.
He freeze.
He hurt his leg in. That's it. Burrow's that guy.
All right, guys. So, last few minutes of the show, non-sports related topics. We're going to go to sports injuries, whether you played any type of sport. I'm going to take it more so of like the playing pickup basketball. So there's 3 extreme injuries from pickup basketball that I'm having in mind. So the first one is obviously, you're playing basketball, your friend rockets a pass at you, jam finger. That always sucks. Also played high school football. I would freaking jam my finger because the quarterback has a rocket arm, and I would jam my finger and I have to just yank it out of place to get it feeling good again. And then The second one is a twisted ankle, like when you're literally twist your ankle and then you're just instantly hopping on one leg while you're playing pickup basketball with your friends. Absolutely sucks. And then the third choice is when you're, someone's playing defense on you and then you just get freaking destroyed. Like you just take the elbow to the side of your ribs and then completely knocks the wind out of you. Out of those three injuries, what do you guys think is the worst sports injury?
I would say
what's the 3 injuries again?
So you get elbowed in the rib, jam finger, twisted ankle.
I'm going to say probably the twisted ankle because you can still operate on the other two, but with that twisted ankle, especially if you can't put any pressure on it, you're done for the day and probably some time. But because I played a little bit of flag football back in the service, and I played on a D line, so I got jam fingers all the time, so I was used to them. Getting elbowed in the ribs while playing street ball back in the day, that was just a part of playground ball, part of the blacktop ball. That's how we, But that twisted ankle, I don't care how old you are, you gonna sit it down for a nice little bit. Go ahead, Dom.
Go ahead, Dom.
It's definitely rolled ankle. You're done for the game when that happens, and if you're not, you're just going
Randall says turf toe.
Be playing in a tremendous more amount of pain, and you're going to be hampered. And ankles take a while to heal. Like you get an elbow in the ribs, you'll be fine. Go sit down for a minute, walk it off, rub some dirt on it.
Yikes. That sucks.
Jammed finger, yeah, that sucks, but it's rolled ankle for sure.
So I'd say rolled ankle for sure. You'll be sitting down, icing it, doing whatever to nurse it. I would have to go with second. The thing on the ribs, I know Jay said it's part of the game, and it definitely is. But I'm not that big of a dude. I'm like 6 foot, maybe $150, and $150 something. And if it's like a bigger dude and I play against him and I get hit in the ribs, I'm going to be leaning over in pain. So, but I agree 100%. It's the ankle. You're hobbling. You can't play basketball on 1 foot.
Unless your name's Isaiah Thomas. He did okay once.
He did okay once.
I mean, you can still shoot. You can still shoot if you're a good shooter.
Yeah, but going up
now, you can still. I mean, you can still shoot the ball. But
True.
if somebody walks up to me, if I get elbowed by like a 200-pound man, dude, bro, like I could like be able to not breathe for like a split second.
Yeah, same.
I'm going with the ribs first.
I'd be
the ribs is first, and the ankle is second, and then the finger is last because, as I said, if you jam your finger, you can pull it like back out, and it'll still probably hurt, but it won't like be completely debilitating on your hand. That's just my opinion.
Now, James, let me ask you a question. Because at one point, have you've been over 200 pounds before, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. If you were 215, 220, would you have the same answer?
What, for elbow?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If someone's 200 pounds and they're a strong man, and it's still gonna hurt like hell either way.
No, it might, but I'm kind of likening it to what Will's saying, because Will, you said you're about 6 feet, maybe 150. That I can understand,
Mm-hmm.
but if you bigger, you got a little bit more muscle, more cushion on you, you might be able to take it. I'm not sitting here saying that you could take too many of them, but I mean, you're going up for a rebound. It's not like it happens every play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you can also get smoked in the face. Like if you're going for a rebound, you can also get smoked in the face, like and break your eye or something. Like I think the elbows is the most dangerous part, but ankle sucks, but I don't think it's like the absolute worst. I think there's worse things that can happen than like an ankle injury.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, we've all witnessed like Paul George's injury, for example. We don't need to show that video, but but at the same time, you mentioned exactly Oladipo. But you mentioned that shooting and whatnot, but keep in mind, you're running up and down the court, and especially on a fast break, and you on one wheel, like.
Randall says he can take a 325-pound elbow. I tossed my weight around. Nice.
Randy's like 400.
What about you, Jay?
Carol says finger jams are baby injuries. Yikes.
JJ just wants to hold up his Ravens lanyard some more. So go ahead.
Oh, I was waiting for y'all to finish.
They were finished.
Right, like an hour.
I had all 3 injuries playing sports, and the rolled ankle was the worst. And I didn't feel it until about an hour after the game because the adrenaline was pumping. I couldn't put no pressure on it. I couldn't walk. I had to actually hop myself from the college to the bus stop, and then from the bus stop home. And it was the most annoying and most excruciating pain out of the 3 that I've ever had. About 6 months ago, I slipped and fell and hit my ribs in the shower, which is similar to a gut punch to it. And that hurt, but I could still function and things of that nature. But with the rolled ankle, no. That rolled ankle is not a joke. And I definitely, outside of breaking my arm, that was the most excruciating pain that I have felt in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, think about how much a rolled ankle hurts the next day.
And mind
I
you,
mean, it's probably the most lingering.
Right. And mind you,
I mean, like, in the moment.
Mind you, when I hit my rib, I was 235. I wasn't a small guy, but still, the rolled ankle, in my opinion, just it hurt so much more. I didn't even want to put my foot on the ground. Imagine trying to take a shower, but got to keep your leg up or your foot up because you don't want to put any pressure on it. Like, that whole thing was excruciating.
Yeah.
I feel you, man.
Oh, speaking of sprained ankle, Jaden Ivey sprains ankle in Summer League game against the Wizards.
Yikes. Anyway, wraps up another episode. So, Will, you want to tell anyone about Basket Bros or whatever?
Yeah. I'll go real quick. Tomorrow we have Basket Bros. It's Jay, Dom, Jacob, and I. It's 2000s and back basketball. Occasionally we do bring up today to just change it up. Today's basketball, 2000s and up, to change it up a little bit. But yeah. And then Monday
Carol,
night.
you're like the female version of Derrick Rose.
Right.
And then Monday night during the season, I'm on the NBA Carousel Thursday. I'm on the Sip Off Saturday. I'm occasionally on here. And I am available next Saturday.
Thanks for letting us know, bro. Anyway, guys, on behalf of everyone here, on my channel, on behalf of the whole Sideline Sports Network, appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. And we will see you guys next Saturday, same time, same place, talking everything NFL. See you then.
Make your vote count. Vote for Talk.